That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
Welcome back, campers. I'm your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm your other camp counselor, David Stokes.
And it is episode 52 of Camp Strange, which makes it officially one whole year of Camp Strange.
That is insane. If you've listened to all 51 and 1/16th of our episodes, because you're just now getting to that 52nd one, then congratulations. We appreciate every second you've spent with us.
We do.
Definitely did not expect to be doing this for a year every single Friday. It's a huge accomplishment.
Never missed a Friday yet.
Yeah.
And that's very hard because...
Well, right now we're recording this episode 2 weeks in advance.
So we're kind of lying. Yeah, it's not officially, but when you listen to it, it will be official. Yeah. And we both have like kind of stupid schedules where
unpredictable.
Sometimes David works from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. and I'm working, the opposite hours. So we try to make this work, and we don't want to have that gap in there and be like, sorry guys, we missed it, because we want to keep you guys entertained on your car rides, or when you're folding your laundry, or when you're taking a dump,
or you're checking on your Tamagotchi,
or that too. Yep. And so we're happy that we made it to a year. Hopefully, as long as there's more weird out there in the world, we're gonna be, let's make it 2 years, let's make it 3 years. Who knows?
Just keep on trucking.
It's hard not to miss a Friday, but let's try to break a record or something.
What was our record for most episodes recorded in advance? I feel like we did 3 or 4 when I went to Colombia or Mexico or something like that.
Oh fuck, that was a shitty week.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah, I remember we were recording.
Those are probably our worst episodes.
We were recording back to back, so we would record one whole one, and then we'd be like, "Okay, you ready?" And then we just do another one.
Yeah.
And by the second one, we were already drunk.
Yeah.
So you go back and probably figure out what those ones were.
Yeah, listen for the 3 that we're really drunk in, because we recorded way too many. And we gotta drink a whole bottle and record. Bogle Wines, if you're listening, Bogle Wines.
Still no sponsor. It's been a whole goddamn year.
Whatever.
It doesn't matter. We have coffee now. We don't need you, Bogle.
We got the opposite.
But if you call, we will answer definitely.
We got the speedy bean juice, not the sleepy grape juice.
Anyway, let's get into these news stories, because that's what you guys come here for, the weird, not for us to talk about our accomplishments. David just drank all that wine. Holy shit. Okay. He's got a mouthful of wine. Jesus Christ. Okay, well,
I don't have to worry about drinking it again during the episode.
So, that's how you really get back at Boggle. Drink all their wine. So,
don't run you dry, boys.
So, this has been making, obviously, this is a week early, but this has been making the rounds as a Brazilian drug trafficker tries to escape prison disguised as his daughter.
It's so terrifying.
So
that video is terrifying.
So he tried to escape prison disguised as his daughter, and honestly, it's like the most terrifying thing you've ever seen.
Just imagine, how old is the daughter?
No,
she was like
19. No, 19.
Oh, I thought she was like 14.
Well, the costume makes it look like he's 14.
Yeah.
It's pretty. It makes it look like he's a fucking alien mannequin or something.
You just imagine a small girl with no emotion on her face.
Yeah, so this guy
just yoked with tattoos.
So apparently this 19-year-old daughter came to visit her dad in prison, who is Clavino da Silva, who's sentenced to 73 years and 10 months. 10 months seem a little excessive.
Yeah. Probably get done without the 10 months.
Gets to 73 years, and he's like, this fucking 10 months are driving me crazy.
He makes it to, was it 72 years? And
73 and 10 months.
He makes it to 73 years and 9 months and fucking dies.
That'd be so shitty. But, this doesn't help with his good behavior, because the daughter came in to see him, and apparently, 8 people had been there to visit him, prior, and I guess they had to deliver a pregnant woman who they didn't search because they're like, oh, she's pregnant, whatever. Mm-hmm. She had a wig and a mask and probably some other clothing or something. Yeah. But the daughter showed up, and then he put on all the clothes and everything, and the daughter got in the cell, and then he left. And
it was a flash mob. He just loaded the bitch up with people. Tried to slip on out.
Everyone dressed up like his daughter.
Yeah.
But no, he said that the guards were like, oh, we probably wouldn't have noticed, but the girl was acting really, really weird and like nervous. And then we like kind of looked at her face and they're like, wait a second. And they like pulled her hair. It's like a bald head underneath. And like, if you look at the face, they have a video online of like
Them
telling,
taking- yeah.
yeah, they're like, take off like whatever the fuck you got on. And it's like a slow reveal. And
Risky move with a young girl in a prison, but
he's stripped naked. And they're like, no, I'm actually a daughter. He's like, I don't think so.
they're like, oh fuck, and they look out the window and he's doing like a wheelie on a motorcycle out of the place.
and now the guard's in prison.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
The old switcheroo.
they caught him, and he was just gonna leave the daughter in his cell, which would have been like a really funny reveal. But like,
Yeah.
obviously they're gonna let the daughter out. But
Or
apparently,
will they?
no, yeah,
She's
exactly.
an adult,
Collateral,
and is that
I have
is she gonna get
collateral.
busted for that shit?
probably. Oh, she could just say like he forced me to or something like that. There's no collusion there technically.
Well, so okay, my question is, how did she get into the cell? Is this one of those things
No,
that they?
I think she visited. But like, I don't know how Brazilian prisons.
So it's not the glass with the phone.
I doubt it. I think
Okay.
it's more of like a. I don't know how Brazilian prisons work, but like,
I know how their steakhouses
actually,
work.
Actually, I do know how they work because David. I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off right now, but like, I have another news story right here. As
get it.
a prison riot in northern Brazil
Okay.
leaves at least 57 dead inmates. So if I know one thing about Brazilian prisons, it's one that you could switch places with your 19-year-old daughter almost easily. And two is that I watched a documentary on this dude on Netflix who like he spent like I don't know how long in
The
prison.
most dangerous prisons.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
first episode was
That's the
like,
only one I watched.
yeah, and he went to a Brazilian prison, and it's kind of the Wild West there, where like
It's like living on on campus
Yeah.
your freshman year of college.
like cells are open, like prisoners play soccer, and they're wearing like their normal clothes. There's like dogs wandering the yard, and then
Yeah.
the guards are like sitting in lawn chairs, like holding onto their shotguns, just like playing cards.
Yeah.
and they're like prisoners could walk up and be like, "Hey, what's up?" But like
hey, as far as we know, one of those guards is listening to this podcast right now.
maybe, but
while with his fucking finger on the trigger.
exactly. And so apparently in like Brazilian prisons, like you have access to a lot of shit basically. So you can kill somebody pretty easily, but the reason like you don't die is because you like have etiquette for like the other prisoners. So it's like
Yeah.
if you don't I remember the guy asked him, he's like, if you don't do your dishes, we'll kill you in your sleep. So like you have to like be respectful and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and carry your load. But apparently the riot started when one of the gangs started a fire in the other gang's cell because they lock up the cells at night or like during
Yeah.
lockdown time, and none of the prisoners could get out. So most of the prisoners died. Of the 57 prisoners died during the fire, but like I think it said, at least 16 of them were decapitated though. So they got 16 of them and just cut off their heads.
I mean, sometimes your heads just pop off though.
but that's the thing with
Natural causes.
That's not true. Sometimes you just turn into a 19-year-old girl.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with Brazilian prisons, guards don't usually interfere. They did interfere here because they had two of the guards hostage.
Yeah.
Once they negotiated those guards out, they kind of let it like go, and they're like, just finish whatever you're gonna do. And
Less
once
people to watch.
yeah, and they like if there's like people fighting and stabbing each other, they'll let it like finish until the person's dead.
Yeah.
And then they'll go in and be like, take the body out, and they'll be like, you get 5 more years. You get 10 more months.
You get a Tesla.
You get 10 more months, and you get 10 more months. And yeah, so it's wild. And I'm sorry I piggybacked on those, but they were both about
Wait,
Brazilian prisons.
what did Oprah give out?
10 more months.
No, what did Oprah give out?
Bees?
There is that great video of her giving out bees, but what was the actual original thing? I can't think of.
Get a car or a house.
I think it was a car.
It was like a car or
not
a house. I mean, she has the money.
She does.
So, I mean, but it's probably a car. But the problem is you can't afford the taxes and like,
Yeah.
the payment on it. So,
Yep, that's how they do it.
Yep.
All right, so an 11-year-old changed election results on a replica Florida State website in under 10 minutes.
what does that mean?
So that means that an 11-year-old managed to break the election like format that they use. They had a replica of how they vote for, president,
Okay.
for bills, for whatever
Is this
the
why?
fuck.
Is this why Florida's so flip floppy with their elections? Like, all the 11-year-olds are changing shit.
It's a possibility, but it's also kind of one of those things where you think like, how much does it differ from just Florida to other states? Like you'd think they're all using the same
Probably,
system.
yeah.
So it's kind of just proving the point that an 11-year-old can hack and change results in under 10 minutes.
Who did he vote for? Was it like a local election, like people we don't know?
Well, it was a replica, so I believe it was a little girl, and she probably...
It was like the two results were like Gator or Kimbo Slice.
And
Because those are the two biggest things come out of Florida.
She probably had My Little Pony win it.
Oh, she did?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you.
I'm not going to read the article.
She probably got Kimbo
I'm a
Slice in
headline
there.
man.
Speaking of headlines, I have another one. Surgeon removes more than 500 teeth from boy in India.
500, huh?
He had 500 teeth.
Speaking of shitty superpower.
Speaking of Gator, Gator's so mad because he got all those teeth and no toothbrush. That's a Waterboy reference.
I gotcha.
But apparently this kid in India who was like 7 years old, he had like a kind of like a lump in his jaw, and he's like, my jaw hurts, and they cut it out and they cut it open, and there's like 526 teeth crammed inside.
I mean, that happens, but not with that many.
Yeah, exactly. They said this is the first case where there's this many teeth, but honestly, they look like tiny little pebbles,
little baby teeth.
Yeah, there's some that are like kind of big. They made like a cool little spiral actually from like biggest tooth found in there to like baby tooth. But yeah, there's
Are
like,
they selling it?
who the fuck would buy these?
Hey man, it's
All
art.
Gator buy these. So no, it's yeah, I don't know. He had a mouthful of teeth and no toothbrush. So I don't know. Fucking weird. He's got a lot of teeth. That's all I had to say. There's not much to this besides the fact that they removed all these teeth and now he's fine.
Yep.
So
all right. Well, doctors have now had to warn women not to stick wasp nests in their lady parts.
So Oprah was giving out bees.
She was. They think it has to do with rejuvenation.
Wait. Oh, but that's the thing about wasp nests. I don't know any property of a wasp that is like, like bees are like, oh, bees have honey. Oh, bees, they're good for the environment. I've never heard anybody defend wasps. A wasp flew in my shirt one time, bit me 3 times. So I don't fuck with wasps.
One time when I was young, I was sitting out in my driveway eating some chicken McNuggets, and a wasp flew up and took a whole McNugget.
Shut the fuck up.
They
got long legs.
It made about 3 feet and dropped it, but it worked its way into the oak bush.
The whole nugget.
The whole nuggie.
It came back and was like, got the sauce.
Give me that Dijon.
Where's your sauce closet?
Give me that Dijon, that mustard.
Got any honey barbecue?
Give me that honey barbecue.
I'm jealous of them bees. Anyway.
That's why I'm so angry all the
Wait,
time.
we're getting off track. Why are they shoving for rejuvenation?
Yeah.
Those from what I know about wasp nests, they're pretty dry.
Yeah.
I don't think that would be. They crumble very easily.
They think it restores the the uterine
the wasp in you
wall after childbirth.
Oh.
And it can help cut and also clean out the vagina.
Do they know that wasp nest and vagina are different material? Because I've seen a wasp build a nest quick. I could see how you would think.
I'm not so worried about that. I'm more worried about if they know if wasps are the ones that are assholes.
They're nugget stealing, wall building. We don't like them when they build the wall. That's all wasps do. They build walls, uterine walls.
They shut you out. And they steal your McNuggies.
And steal your McNugs. Bunch of dickheads. They bite you 3 times in your
Fuckers.
shirt.
Bite you in your shirt. They take your McNuggets.
Okay, I'm not afraid to say it. I'm an anti-wasp podcast. Okay?
Show me their benefits. Show me the papers. I want to see those benefits.
I want to see their little mouths try to bite me. Anyway, so I think we're caught up. This took a turn.
Yeah, it did. 1 year, baby.
Okay, this whole next year is all wasp material. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
52 episodes of Wasps.
The only wasp I like is Evangeline Lilly.
Is that how you say her name?
I think so.
Good with me.
Yeah. Okay. We also like to mention that it's not only our birthday, but we want to give a special birthday shout out to one of our most dedicated fans, Haley. So thank you so much, Haley, for listening. We know you're 73 years old in 10 months, so happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
That doesn't even make sense. She's the 10 months.
It's her
really
birthday.
Throws it off.
Yeah, it's a 2-month precursor.
It's like what we do, where we record early. We say happy birthday early, 2 months early. Okay.
Yeah.
So happy
2
birthday.
weeks and 2 months early.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
We don't know time. So happy birthday, Haley. And also, we would like to remind you that if you guys like Hyper Bean Juice, aka coffee, you should definitely go check out Spring Hill Jack because they got the spookiest coffee in all of Transylvania, and we love their coffee. We can't talk about it enough. They're going to be sending us some cold brew. We haven't had the cold brew yet, but we're super excited, and I just love cold brew because I'm a hot boy. I'm always hot. It's fucking summer, and I'm dying all the time, so I need that cold brew to pick me up, and yeah, and I love the hot stuff too.
Yeah.
It's great. It's all great.
Yeah, I can't fight no monsters without my speedy bean juice.
So go to springhilljack.coffee. Yes, .coffee, and go check out their great prices and their great coffee. And they're coming out with new blends like all the time because that's what you get when you get that small batch, when you get that mom and pop shop, you know. They're allowed to experiment a little bit more. There's no red tape they got to cut through like Starbucks and fucking Folgers crystals. No one drinks that. Anyway, okay. so go check out Spring Hill Jack. Follow them on Instagram. Go to their website. They got great stuff. Now let's get to these stories. So Hollywood, California is known as the movie and TV capital of the world, as actors play dress up and entertain the masses as their job. We watch these movies and know that what we are watching is completely fake, but we still become lost in the action and drama for the moment. It all seems so carefree and fun at first glance, but the stories I'm about to tell you are the parts of Hollywood we don't really consider when watching the movies. The dangerous parts of movie making that we take for granted. The stunts performed in movies that can easily leave an actor or stuntman not only injured, but sometimes, in rare cases, dead.
Can I talk about the Twilight Zone?
These are the stories of stunts gone wrong. I am going to talk about the Twilight Zone, you
For
dick.
once, I get to do that to you,
Fuck
motherfucker. Because you
you.
always do that to me in my stories.
You. Fuck. I wanted this to all be surprised. Damn it. That's the last story, but you're going to have to wait.
It's a good one.
You're going to have to wait. So, like I said, these are not only stunts, but just accidents that have happened on movie sets.
Okay.
So if you guys look on Wikipedia, there are literally like 100 different notable accidents that have happened on movie sets.
Oh, yeah. It happens.
All going from death to just like minor injuries to burns and stuff. But I think these three stories, I'm going to tell you three stories and then pepper in a couple like kind of fun ones that were like in there.
Fun ones when people die.
Really fun accidents. But
Fuck them. They don't have a family.
so I'm going to tell you the three big ones that people always bring up, and then some of the other more minor ones. So that are just like one sentence long. So the first one I want to cover is John Eric Hexum. So on October 12th, 1984, the cast and crew of the CIA action show Cover Up were filming the 17th episode of the series called Golden Opportunity. That was the name of the episode. One of the scenes filmed that day called for Hexum's character to load bullets into a .44 Magnum handgun. So he... that inhale.
Sean Lee?
Sean Lee, yeah. I just told you his name was Hexum.
No. Okay,
Shut up. I know what you're doing right now. You stop stealing my thunder. This is not him.
Welcome to the show, buddy.
He may be the next one, and you don't even know his real name, so shut up. So he was provided. So he was provided with a functional gun and blanks. So it's a real .44 Magnum, but it had blanks in it. When the director decided to switch up the scene last minute, there was a delay in filming. Hexum became restless and impatient during the delay and began playing around to lighten the mood. You know, when you're holding a .44 Magnum and you just want to play around a little bit.
Do a little twirl on the fingers.
You know, just
put it in your mouth and laugh.
Just grab the PAs by the neck and just be like, "I'll kill him." You know, that's like.
And everybody's just like, "Please do." And
if you guys don't know, me and David are in the industry,
big time.
Yeah, we are in the industry, but we're not like me. So we do know some of the lingo. PA is a production assistant. That's what I am. We're low of the low. We're scum. So we get
spat on all the time.
We do all the work no one else wants to do. So that's what I said when he grabs the PAs and pretends to shoot them. Because
bring the naked PA out.
If you could do that, you could do that on the set, and everyone's laughs, and you could just beat us up. So
I don't know what type of sets you work on.
I'm joking, but
so don't you work on kid shows?
So he began playing around to lighten up the mood. He had unloaded all but one blank round. So he put one round in, but it was a blank, and he spun it, and he was simulating Russian roulette with what he thought was a harmless weapon. He then put the revolver to his right temple and pulled the trigger. Classic. What do you think? Do you think he landed on the bullet? Because Hexum was apparently unaware that his actions were dangerous. Blanks use what? What
yeah,
are you
don't
say?
blanks still actually like fire something though?
So blanks use paper or plastic wadding to seal gunpowder into the cartridge. So it's basically like a bullet. It was like
it's like an airsoft. It's like a BB gun almost.
It's just as loud as a bullet. It's the same amount of gunpowder as a bullet. It just doesn't have a metal casing around it. It's basically just like wadded up paper and cardboard.
Yeah.
So whatever flies out of it is cardboard and paper. So it's not,
which is still lethal at point blank.
yeah,
range.
the reason a bullet is so deadly is because it's a piece of metal flying at you really fast.
Yeah.
But like cardboard is more like, I mean, bean bags. We shoot bean bags at the same trajectory.
You could kill some of the beanbag if
could.
you hit him close enough in the right spot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So so he wadding to seal gunpowder into the cartridge, and this wadding is propelled from the bullet from the barrel of the gun with enough force to cause injury if the weapon is fired within a few feet of the body. Should it strike at a particularly vulnerable spot, such as
A temple.
drum roll, a temple, or an eyeball. So, at a close enough range, the effect of the gunpowder gases is a small explosion. So, although the paper wadding in the blank that Hexum discharged did not penetrate his skull, there was enough blunt force trauma to shatter a quarter-sized piece of his skull and propel the piece into his brain, causing massive hemorrhaging.
Yeah, the bone around your skull in certain places, it's just not that thick.
It's fragile. It's like if somebody just took a hammer and smacked you in the head as hard as they could.
Yeah.
Like
No,
that's
they
like
get the-
5 times as fast.
The front of your head, like the top, like there's parts of your head that are hard, but like the sides, they
Not
aren't
that where the ear, yeah, exactly.
not that hard.
So Hexum was rushed to Beverly Hills Medical Center, where he underwent 5 hours of surgery to repair his wounds. But on October 18th, 6 days after the accident, Hexum was declared brain dead, and he was transported to a San Francisco hospital where most of his organs, including his heart, was donated to help people in need.
It's kind of an Abe Lincoln thing right there.
What are you talking about?
6
Abe
days.
Lincoln didn't. Oh,
Shot in the head, died 6 days later.
I thought you meant like Abe Lincoln donated his heart or something. I was like, there was no way they knew what to do with a heart back then. So, yeah, it's kind of like sad because, you know, he died, but he did save other people's lives. So there is like a little bit of a
We can joke about
silver lining. We joke about all this stuff. We're not allowed to, but we do. So, but yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you don't like just think about that, guys. Next time, don't even put like a cap gun to your head. Like it just,
Oh, yeah.
it's all bad news. Like don't even joke about that. Don't put a dart gun to your head.
it. Never put your finger on any trigger unless you're ready to pull it.
It's true. I mean, he was ready to pull it, or just make sure you're aiming at like a hay bale or an orange or a pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
So that was my first story, and here's just 2 little fun ones. In the movie Snake in the Eagle's Shadow, actor Hwang Jang Lee
Huang Jing Li. Oh, I love Huang Jing Li.
knocked out one of Jackie Chan's teeth after kicking him in the face during a fight scene.
You don't do that.
You don't kick Jackie Chan in the face. And actually, in the very same movie, Chan's arm was also slashed by a sword that was supposed to be blunt, but the camera kept rolling as he was screaming in pain.
Aragon?
No, what are you talking about?
Oh, you don't know about that one? Can I share one in your story?
Is this Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me.
So you know the scene right before Boromir dies
Yeah.
and they're being assaulted on the hill?
And yeah.
There's one part where the what do you call it? What were the orc
He's an orc.
hybrids?
Oh, Uruk-hai.
The Orcai, that's right. There's one part when the Orcai throws a blade at
Aragorn?
Aragon, and he blocks it with his sword. Mm-hmm. But they fucked up in the art department and they left a real blade in it, and so that wasn't a fake blade. Go back and watch it, and that's a real blade that
gets
that
thrown at
Virgo
him?
Mortensen, whatever his name is,
Viggo Mortensen.
he blocks it with his actual like fake sword, and that was a real fucking knife that he threw at him.
That's the most badass thing I've ever heard. That's why I
Yeah.
didn't read that, because he didn't get hurt.
Yeah,
I
he
need-
could have gotten severely hurt if not
I need
killed.
like a Tyrion Lannister no-nose situation to make
Yeah.
it on my list.
Yeah.
So, but Jackie Chan, shout out to Jackie Chan. He's one of the OGs who's been doing all of his own stunts forever.
Dude's nuts.
Dude, he got electrocuted. He got his teeth knocked out. He got slashed by a sword, and he's the happiest guy I've ever seen.
He seems like the nicest dude ever.
Yeah, and he just gets the shit kicked out of him all the time.
Well, he kicks a lot
Is
of
he a
shit too.
PA? so
He's a truck driver.
This next little one I want to talk about is next little tiny one is in Enter the Dragon, which is, you know, a very famous Bruce Lee film. During a fight scene, Robert Wall, one of the other stuntman and martial artists, accidentally slashed Bruce Lee in the arm with a broken bottle. And after the wound healed, Lee legitimately kicked Wall during the reshoot of the same scene with such force that an extra broke his arm trying to catch Wall. Ooh. Which is kind of funny because Wall didn't break his arm. The guy trying to catch him broke his arm, which is kind of like Bruce Lee's like, fuck, man, that wasn't supposed to happen. But, dude, that guy was fucking powerful.
Yeah.
So
Wait, okay, the story I thought that I was going to talk about earlier.
No.
Did you already?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Because
the last guy was Lee, and then you talked about Bruce Lee.
Speaking of Bruce Lee, I have another longer. This is the second longer story that I've heard about this ever since I was younger, and I watched this movie.
Oh yeah.
For all of you
I assumed you were going to leave this one out.
So for all of you film fanatics out there, you would know Bruce Lee's son as Brandon Lee.
Yeah, I thought it was Sean. It's Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon Lee. So let's get into this horrible stunt that went bad. So in 1993, the action noir comic book film The Crow, famous movie. It's kind of a cult classic at this point. It was made in the 90s, so it's a little cheesy. The effects aren't that good, but
it's a real goth movie.
It's still a very good movie. The lore behind it, I think, is what made it a cult classic. But it's a fun movie, and they're trying to remake it right now, actually.
Ugh.
So I think it would be good. It was one of the first like comic booky movies because it was based off of a comic book.
I don't know. With the history, I think they should just let it be. But
I
continue.
guess. So in 1990, this is Dwight Schrute's favorite movie, by the way.
Oh, now I know who Sean Lee is. Sorry.
This is Dwight Schrute's favorite movie, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah. So in 1993, the action noir comic book film The Crow was being filmed starring Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son. The film tells the story of Eric Draven, a rock musician who was revived from the dead to avenge his own death as well as the rape and murder of his fiancée. The film had a very heavy subject matter, but not as much as what was happening on set while filming, as it almost seemed that the film was cursed from the start. So I knew about something that happened to Brandon Lee, but I didn't know about this, what I'm about to read to you. Some of the accidents that occurred consisted of a carpenter that was seriously injured on set when the crane he was working on hit a live power line.
Oof.
An equipment truck caught...
Not want to be in a large metal frame that gets hit by electricity.
No. An equipment truck caught on fire. A sculptor who had worked on the set for just a few days drove through the plaster shop after he was let go. And finally, yeah, that's a little fucked up. But he knows that, like, that's where he caused the most damage, the plaster shop.
He was ready to walk away from that industry entirely.
Man, he must have
You
been
want to fire me from the Crow?
He's like, you can't fire me, I'm a PA. So, and finally, a construction worker accidentally drove a screwdriver through his hand. But little did
that happens every day on set.
But little did they know, the curse was not finished with them yet. On March 31st, 1993, the production was filming a flashback sequence that showed how Eric Draven died as he is shot with a, what? Yeah, a .44 Magnum.
Imagine that.
By a gang member who was assaulting his girlfriend.
I thought this happened on the sequel.
There was no sequel.
Yeah, there was.
They had a Crow sequel?
Yeah, and I thought this happened at the beginning of the production. They had to recast it. Because I know they did a sequel, but they had to recast.
No, this
was on the first one.
This happened on the first one.
Okay.
And I will explain what happened before I go deeper into what you were saying. But What one of the crew members said was, this is a quote, it says, "The script of The Crow called for a close-up of the loaded gun. The crew, following standard procedure, used dummy bullets, which are nothing more than bullets without gunpowder. When the close-up was finished," so they put like these bullets with no gunpowder in there to show that like there's a bullet in the gun, basically. So when the close-up was finished, the gun was unloaded, then reloaded with blanks. Blanks sound as loud as real bullets, but when they are fired, only the harmless cardboard wadding with which they are packed is ejected from the gun. Like we said earlier, only the cardboard and paper come out, but you know, the thing that's deadly is if there's a metal piece in front of that that's flying out just as fast, because cardboard and paper just disintegrates when you shoot it. You know, it's not flying anywhere. Except this time, when the trigger was pulled, Lee slumped to the ground with a hole the size of a quarter in his lower right abdomen. The crew didn't realize that Lee was injured until Proyas called cut and the actor didn't get up. He was rushed to the hospital, but doctors couldn't save him, and Lee died later that afternoon. He was only 28 years old.
That's younger than me.
Yeah. He did.
Was Bruce alive at this point?
No,
I didn't think so.
So Bruce, I read how he died. I think he passed away in his sleep or something like that, of like a hemorrhage or something in his brain. So it took some time to figure out what had happened, but according to the Telegraph, the newspaper or the magazine, both the dummy bullet and the blanks used on the production had hastily been fabricated by taking out the gunpowder from the real bullets because of the time pressure crew members were under. The lead tip of the dummy bullet became lodged in the barrel of the gun and pushed out by the blank charge perforating Lee's abdomen and managed to puncture the stem of the aorta where it branches to provide blood supply to the legs. So basically what happened was they put the dummy bullets in to show for the close-up that there are bullets in the gun, and when they went to go take them out, I guess a piece of the bullet, like the tip, got lodged in the barrel, and they didn't know it was in there. So when they put the wadding in there and it shot out, the tip of the bullet went flying, and it shot him like a real bullet. Like it's no different than any other bullet. So, and it struck him right in the abdomen, hit him in the aorta, and that is the biggest blood supply, the biggest artery in the body. Maybe it's what runs to your heart. I could be wrong. I think it's
that sounds about right.
But yeah, and like you said, for many people that know, Brandon Lee was actually killed before filming was complete, and this is 93. Similar thing happened to Paul Walker, where he was killed before they finished Fast 7, but they used CGI and his brother. Yeah,
his brother.
And they CGI'd like his face on his brother to finish the film. But with this, they had to use a stunt double that looked exactly like him. I guess not in the face, but like the body. Yeah. And then they just used all the shots. They used other shots, and they used like back shots of the stunt double to finish the film. So they had to get really creative with it. Yeah. And that's why I didn't know they made a sequel, because he died during the first part of the movie.
That's what I was just Googling. Oh. They didn't just make a sequel. There's 5 Crow films.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why would they do that?
So
you're the one who's like, they should leave it alone, and there's like 5 of them, they didn't.
So from what I'm looking at here on IMDb is the first Crow starring Brandon Lee. His name is Eric Draven. Yeah. Let's pop over to The Crow City of Angels, a movie that was released 2 years after that one. The lead was played by Vincent Perez.
I don't know how
and he was also in. Yeah, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
He played Ash Corvin.
Oh, so it's a
new Crow.
Oh.
And so I think that's kind of the way they took it, was they're like, shit, we wrote all these scripts for it. Let's just pass the thing on down.
Like almost like the Crow's like a spirit that can like not infect, but possess new people. You know what I mean? Where like the crow spirit can go to people who have been wrongfully killed or something to get revenge.
Yeah, and then I went ahead and just to see if that's what they did, and I clicked on the third one, which they went back to
Eric Draven?
They went back to Eric Draven,
What?
played by Mark Dacascos.
These seem like they're all straight to DVD, right? There's
Oh yeah,
no way
no,
these are all-
100%.
Okay.
But this guy he played Zero in John Wick Chapter 3, which I have not seen.
No, I haven't seen that, but
It's good.
well, that's very interesting. They also didn't use crows on the movie; they used ravens. So,
It's a lot of bullshit.
yeah, they couldn't use the crows; they use ravens. Ravens are smarter, I guess.
Holy shit. Kirsten Dunst was in the fourth one.
Okay, let's stop here because it's only gonna get worse.
I think she was.
Was John Candy the fifth one? so John Candy and Crow 5. So, okay, well, that was the second big hitter. And I have two little ones for you right here. Because in the 1969 movie, Shark! Exclamation point. What do you fucking think happened?
Oh boy.
Because a stuntman was mauled to death on camera when a shark, which was supposed to have been sedated, suddenly attacked him.
I know I always do this. I'm sorry. I had to click on the Fifth Crow.
Who's
And
in it?
Tara Reid is in it.
Oh,
Danny
no.
Trejo is in it.
Oh, no.
Tito Ortiz, is that name sounds familiar?
Why does Tito Ortiz sound familiar?
Is he a UFC fighter or a baseball
Oh my
player?
God, he's a UFC fighter. He has a blonde buzz cut.
He was also known as the next Vin Diesel at one point. And he was in Cradle to the Grave, aka my favorite soundtrack of all time from a film. And Boo 2, Medea's Halloween.
Okay.
Continue with I'm closing my Google Chrome.
You're done.
Continue.
I'm gonna take your computer away.
Please do.
Tara Reid and Danny
Trejo.
Trejo. That's how you just put a R.I.P. on that film right away. That Sharknado 5. I mean,
Doesn't Danny Trejo refuse to read a
I
script?
heard he can't read the script, so they have to hold cue cards. Like he can't remember, so they hold cue cards off camera. That's what I've heard.
Hey, Machete was a masterpiece.
Machete.
Masterpiece.
So another little one. Remember I just told you about Shark the movie? Shark! Exclamation point. Well, there's this other film is called a 1972 film called The Last Lion. What do you think happened in The Last Lion?
A lion ate someone.
A sound technician, James Chapman, was mauled to death by a lion during production in the on the South Africa film.
I did a commercial with a
Sound guy. God damn it.
They're the worst. They're always
would
like
not-
shh, shh, shh.
I would not room tone. I would not want to listen to that audio. Like, you have to listen to see what his last words were.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
No, I did a commercial with a what they said was a teenage tiger, and the thing was fucking huge.
What an
And-
attitude on that tiger. Am I
and
right?
we had to walk it downtown, into set from its trailer thing.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw your video of that
Yeah,
tiger.
and it was our good buddy Sam Skolnick and I, and we were both just like, what the fuck are we gonna do if this thing gets loose? And they're like, you walk in front of it. I'm like, I'm not turning my back to this fucking thing.
No, I've seen that. I've seen what happens. Like,
Yeah.
they try to grab you and shit.
Yeah, it was terrifying.
Yeah. So,
But yeah, working with big cats, terrifying.
well, you're not a sound guy, so I think you're okay.
I'm worse.
You're a PA.
The one they're like, oh, we need to comb the tiger. That's you, bud. Here
They're
you
like,
go.
Tiger, yeah, Tiger, you could eat him. He's a PA.
Yeah, no one cares about this guy.
So, okay, and let me get to my last story here that David ruined.
Yeah, welcome to my
He
life, dog.
almost ruined my second story with Lee.
You understand how many times you do this to me every episode.
I
so
know. I'm sorry. I feel
suck
bad.
it.
When I re-listen,
It
I
only
feel
took a
bad.
year for me to ruin your story.
I guess you're right. So, I'm going to tell you about the legendary. This is probably the most talked about
It's wild.
or referenced movie accident in film history. As
And they have footage of it.
they do. I watched it. It's very grainy and you can't really see anything, but it's horrifying nonetheless. And it is a Twilight Zone movie accident. So this is the death of Vic Morrow. In July of 1982, the film adaptation of the hugely popular show, The Twilight Zone, was being filmed. The Twilight Zone, the movie, was made up of 4 separate stories, including the famous Nightmare at 20,000 Feet, starring John Lithgow, remaking the famous William Shatner episode of The Twilight Zone. You know that one.
There's something on the
Exactly.
wing?
There's something on the wing.
On the wing, yeah.
Yeah, that's... Or there's a colonial woman churning butter on the wing.
Did you watch The Boys yet?
No, I haven't watched that yet.
Okay.
I have the comic, but I haven't read it. I mean, I've read it. I haven't read all of them. But, yeah, so this one starring John Lithgow, also known as the Trinity Killer. Shout out Dexter.
Oh, I was trying to put a face to the name. I was like, I know that name. I can't figure out what it was.
Pet Cemetery. My favorite.
Third Rock.
Oh, that wasn't my
Third
favorite.
Rock from the
Third
Sun.
Rock from the Sun. I was thinking.
That's what I
Christopher
think of
Lloyd.
when I think of him.
Anyway, yeah, he's good. So the first segment of the film was to be called Time Out, and told the story of a racist named Bill Connor who was taken back in time and placed in various situations where he would be a persecuted victim. So a Jewish Holocaust victim, a black man about to be lynched by the KKK, and a Vietnamese man about to be killed by U.S. soldiers. So it's basically just a story about like. They had another episode kind of similar to this where some guy, I guess in this episode, he gets a Jewish guy gets the spot over him at his job, and he gets all pissed off and storms out, and he goes to a bar and he starts like saying all this anti-Semitic and racist stuff about like black people and Vietnamese people and Jewish people, and they like ask him to leave, and as he steps out of the bar, he's immediately he's in World War II Germany as a Jewish person, so he has to live these lives of the persecuted people to learn a lesson.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
I like it.
So the segment was being directed by John Landis do you know who John Landis is?
Sounds familiar.
Animal House fame.
Ah,
Why do you know Animal House?
Because my mom was in Animal House, and they
mom-
filmed it in my hometown.
She was the guitar that he smashes on.
She was. She was never quite the same after that. I had to carry her to my graduation.
You know how many takes it took to get that? No, but she was sitting on the stairs,
She's
right?
a broken woman.
She's in that scene, right?
No, so she is in the very first scene where the girl makes the very rude joke at the heavyset man, calling him a blimp.
A blimp, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. She's walking down the stairs at that part. You briefly see
Is
her
his
on
name
that.
Flounder?
Yeah, Flounder.
Yeah.
And then she's also at the very end of the film when John Belushi swings onto the parade float as a pirate.
Yeah.
She's like one of the prom queens that he swings onto the float of.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, little did she know she was being directed by a murderer.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he was a murderer yet. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, so John Landis, director of... Oh, shout-outs to Jody, by the way.
Yeah, love you, Mom.
Yeah. So, John Landis of Animal House, Coming to America, another amazing movie starring Eddie Murphy, and the Blues Brothers fame.
Classic.
And actually, and Vic Morrow was the main actor was playing Bill Connor, so he was playing the racist. And also, if you didn't know, John Landis also directed one of the most famous music videos that has ever existed and still continues to be probably the most famous music video ever.
Michael Jackson.
Thriller.
Yep.
Yeah, you knew that. Okay, cool. So,
I mean, unfortunately, if you look at any milestone of music, like it's Michael Jackson.
it's always Michael Jackson. So, in the scene, they were filming on that fateful night. Vic Morrow was to carry 2 Vietnamese children across a shallow river while being chased by American soldiers in a hovering helicopter. 7-year-old, I might say these wrong, but Mika Din Lee and 6-year-old Renee Shin Yi Chen were hired as the 2 children in the scene, but there was a snag in the production as children were not supposed to film at night without the required permits. But John Landis and the crew turned a blind eye, violating child labor laws. And when I say he's a murderer, I don't really mean that. This was all a complete accident.
Yeah.
And I actually feel really bad for John Landis because he's a great filmmaker, but, you know, like this shit happened and it kind of ruined his career a little bit because that's what he became synonymous with, which is fucking awful. So, as for the pilot of the helicopter, Dorsey Wingo, well, he was a Vietnam War veteran with tons of experience, and so no one had anything to be worried about. Well, so they thought, because he's so experienced. It's kind of fucked up that like
It's like, child's play for him,
well, I was gonna say it's like it's supposed to be like the Vietnam War, and he probably has like PTSD, and they're like, hey, why
I was
don't
kind
you
of thinking, I didn't want to
fly
say it,
this?
but yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Honestly, one of the dad of one of the children also was a Vietnam War vet from the other side. He was Vietnamese, and he said that when he watched the scene, like when they were filming it and he was there, he actually got like PTSD from like the explosions and stuff.
Yeah.
So as Landis called to action, Wingo stationed his helicopter 25 feet from the ground while hovering near a large mortar effect. So an explosive, basically.
Yeah.
He then turned the aircraft 180 degrees to the left for the next camera shot. The explosive effect was detonated while the helicopter's tail rotor was still above it, causing the rotor to fail and detach from the tail. The low-flying helicopter spun out of control while at the same time Morrow accidentally dropped Chen into the water. So he dropped one of the little girls into the water when this mortar went off, and as he was reaching out to grab her, the helicopter came crashing down on top of him and the two children. Morrow and one of the children, Lee, were decapitated by the helicopter's main rotor blade, while Chen was crushed to death by the helicopter's right landing skid, and all three died instantaneously.
God, that would be the most insane shit. I couldn't imagine being on set and having that happen.
Honestly, I didn't know how much the rotor tail blade had to do with stabilization of it. So when that went down, basically the whole helicopter turned sideways.
It loses
came
complete
crashing
control.
down.
Yeah.
And the first thing that hit them was the blade.
Yeah.
And it decapitated the main actor, one of the little children, and the other one got crushed by the helicopter, which is just like the most horrible thing that could happen. Like, let alone a death on a set, but children.
Yeah, two children.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
So after the
who weren't even supposed to fucking be there.
They weren't supposed to be there. They were getting paid underneath the table because nobody wanted to fill out the stuff because they wanted to get like the shots and didn't want to have to deal with all the red tape and stuff. But but at the same time, if this didn't happen, like it would have been totally fine because this could happen during the day as well. Yeah. I don't really think it had anything to do with that, but it just kind of adds to like the incompetence of the production to show that they were cutting corners. You know what I mean? So
it doesn't make them look very good.
Exactly. So after the disaster, there was a lengthy trial of many people pointing fingers at Landis, saying he was too nonchalant about the whole thing, telling the helicopter pilot to get lower when the pilot felt like it was unsafe, as well as ignoring warnings from the special effects team that it was too much explosive for the effect as well. It was also stated that the effect was also activated too early before the helicopter could clear the area, but like that is something that you could blame Landis for. Maybe he called it too early. Yeah. Maybe the guy pressed the button too early.
Yeah.
But that was the main thing that actually set off the whole chain of events. So like that.
Who's the first AD on this? Because some of this could have gone on him too.
So I was going to say right here, Landis. I'm guessing probably one of these is the first AD.
Yeah.
So Landis, the director. Folsey, I don't know who that is, but I'm guessing it's probably the first AD or at least one of the producers. Folsey, Wingo, the pilot, a production manager, Arlingham, and explosives specialist Paul Stewart were tried and actually acquitted on charges of manslaughter in a 9-month trial, and ultimately Morrow and the two children's families settled, obtaining millions from several civil lawsuits. And John Landis soured his name in the industry after the accident, even having Steven Spielberg, who was a co-producer on the Twilight Zone movie, on the project with Landis. He unfriended him. So Spielberg cut off all of his ties with Landis because he's just like, this is like so fucked up and wrong. I can't be associated with this. Yeah. Like you fucked up big time. And in the end, I like to say the stunts performed in these films are extremely dangerous. So I tip my hat to these stunt men and women who put their bodies on the line for our entertainment. And I also like to say that rest in peace to all of these people who were tragically taken by these accidents that
They're just trying to do their job.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a movie. As Steven Spielberg said, or I think he said it, he's like, nobody, after this accident, it completely changed the reform of how movies are made.
Well, I can think of like all the times I've ever been on set and we do stunts.
It's taken extremely serious now.
Well, yeah, now it's always saying, for a car, can you take that turn tighter and faster? Not saying you need to do this. It's saying, can you?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not telling them what to do. It's asking if they can.
That's exactly what I was about to say, is that he believes that any performer or stuntman, any actor or stuntman or special effects person has the right to yell cut during a scene if they feel like something is unsafe.
Yeah.
That's
100%.
like his quote, because a lot of people back then felt like if they did this, they were going to lose their job. The director was going to get mad, but he said that they reserve that right as the performer.
Yep.
And but still, people like Resident Evil, the last Resident Evil that came out, Deadpool, people died.
Deadpool, yeah.
People died on the set. Resident Evil, I think she got her arm amputated. It's like, it's crazy. People still die.
Yeah.
So you have to just be super careful. And I guess it comes with the job, but like freak accidents do happen, you know? Trucks fall over,
You can be doing
wires don't work.
You can be doing a cereal commercial and fall down the stairs and die.
Exactly. So
It's just part of it.
You just have to be very careful, and it's all entertainment. So, don't put your body too much on the line for a movie or a show, but that's all my stories. That's Hollywood, baby. That's Hollywood.
Alrighty. That's Hollywood. So I know we just got done talking about the Twilight Zone. So now I'm going to put our boy Tobin here, in maybe a little bit of the Twilight Zone.
What are you doing right now?
Well, I decided when we first started this goddamn podcast, the first episode we ever recorded, I had a great fucking story.
Oh, we scrapped.
You had a terrible fucking story.
Fuck you. My story was good.
Okay, starting the podcast with DB Cooper was not a good choice.
It was an okay choice, and it was the hidden treasure of DB Cooper.
But we both decided that our first attempt was not worth releasing.
No, it wasn't that good.
No. We had some kinks to work out, but I still thought the story I worked on was good, and I've been wanting to redo it.
Remember my homunculus story?
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one. I'll save that one.
What?
I'll save that one. Maybe I'll do that next podcast or something.
Oh, was that not on this podcast?
No.
That was on our before Camp Strange when we had Kyle, the three of us. Holy shit, that was a
Stories
nightmare.
from Uncle Lou?
That was a nightmare. These files still save under that name.
We had a podcast called Stories from Uncle Lou.
Completely unreleased, barely even edited. And it was basically this shit show, but with his old roommate Kyle, who we've had on an episode before. I think we recorded 2 or 3 episodes. We could release those if we really got.
Yeah, Kyle talked about
horny
dolphin
enough.
sex.
Yeah, it was tight.
That was great. I actually like that story.
So yeah, I'm going to redo the first story I ever told in this podcast, hoping that Tobin forgot about it. I doubt he did.
I don't know. I can't remember what you did.
Okay, so obviously I'm not going to start the same. I just have the same Word doc up. I edited a little bit.
You lazy piece of shit.
That's right, baby.
This is the only appropriate time for you to pull it out, is a year anniversary.
Well, technically,
That's unreleased. So I guess, that's fine.
there you go.
No one else knows it besides me.
Yeah,
And I don't remember it.
yeah, and it's a good one.
You're not memorable to me.
I know. Only the stories I tell.
Tell your story, PA.
All right, so I was gonna not do this first part, but I'm going to anyways. Living in Los Angeles, I want to start this podcast off with a somewhat local story.
Hell yeah, dude. Flashback.
So my story takes place in the Turnbull Canyon.
Oh, I don't really remember this, but this is a good one. I remember there's
This
some
is a good
shit
one.
going down.
Which-
you were mad at me
I
because we
was.
didn't release it. And
It
you
was a
said,
good one.
You said, "What the fuck, dude? My story was good," and I was like, "Yeah, we should get better."
Yeah.
So you're welcome.
Yeah, so it takes place in the Turnbull Canyon, which is all sorts of fucked up. What type of things scare you the most, Tobin?
Being buried alive.
I think that's what you said the first time we recorded this too.
Did I? I fucking.
And we started talking about Ryan Reynolds.
That's the worst thing ever.
Ryan
And that's
Reynolds.
a really, really good movie,
It
by
is
the way.
surprising for the fact the movie's about a guy getting buried alive. It's an insanely good movie.
Go see Buried Ryan Reynolds. The whole movie takes place in a coffin, and the camera does not leave the coffin. It's incredible.
It's a really good movie.
Best bottle movie out there.
Is that what you call it? Bottle movie?
Yeah, when it's on one location the entire time.
Good to know. I don't know those weird little facts.
I'm a Hollywood guy, baby.
Yeah, I didn't go to film school. So, well, being buried alive actually probably is going on in the canyon. But as far as I can tell, this canyon area is literal hell on earth. And no, it's not Florida. Kidding. We were even making fun of Florida in the first time we ever wrote an episode. Isn't that nice?
Damn,
Yeah,
that
this
is
just
foreshadowing.
such a good look back a year ago. So in the Turnbull Canyon, you can find yourself sitting between haunted grounds, occupied by violent ghosts, Satanist cults, and UFOs searching for butts to drill into. Drilling deep.
They like the butts.
Yup. So there's a lot of information on this location, which I won't be able to fully cover because it would take 5 episodes.
And where in LA is this?
I forgot.
I think it's East LA. It's like very
This was a
east.
year ago, so I forgot.
This is very east, I believe. Turnbull Canyon. Because I remember it wasn't close enough to drive to like immediately. I remember it's like east. It's East LA, somewhere out there.
Well, I had the idea a year ago that we should travel here and do a locational podcast in the canyon.
Oh, Hell on Earth? Yeah, I'm sold. I want to get buried alive.
Yeah, after we do Area 51.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll start with the forbidden grounds of the Puente Hill. In the past decade, there have been a number of murders taking place in the grounds. However, the sense of evil has been lurking around the land for much longer than that. The grounds was once called, and we're doing one of these again, Hutukagna by the local Indian tribes, which translates into the dark place.
I was about to say the dark place.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I remember a little bit of it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, from your description, it doesn't sound like the light place.
Well, this does not refer to the climate because this is kind of deserty, so it is very bright and hot, but it is a dark place.
They're hills, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not referring to the climate, but the evil surrounding it. It is reported that many of the local tribes refuse to step foot in the area. So that's not a good sign.
No, when everyone's really scared of the place, I usually don't go build a house there.
You walk into town and people say, "Oh, we don't go over there," and you go, "I'm gonna go over there."
Oh,
You guys don't know what you're talking about. You live here.
wait, free burials, Wait, I'm tired. Would they have a free coffin over there I can lay in, and they'll put some dirt on it? I don't like
Looks
light
real
either.
nice. So when the Spanish arrived with weapons, they ignored warnings and pleas from the natives and forced the poor people into the canyon that they refused to enter.
Oh fuck! Wait, so okay. I mean, we're fucked up. America's fucked up.
Yeah, the
But like
Spanish-
the Spanish
they're
show
pretty-
up and they're like,
They be
"What's-"
wildin'.
They're like, "Hi, we know we're visitors. Where's the one place we shouldn't go here?" And they go, "We don't go in that canyon." You go, "Get the fuck in the canyon."
Yeah, you're gonna have to go in there.
Please, I don't want to go to the canyon.
So it was here where the Spanish gave the Indians the option to become Christians or die in the lands they feared.
By them? Were they gonna kill them in the land, or they're just like, "Ghost gonna get you"?
It didn't specify.
Okay.
But it
I
is-
would just tell them I'll be like, "I'm Christian. I'll say whatever you want."
I think they would go in there and kill them.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably why it's so dark there now, It's probably even darker. It was dark there, now it's darker.
I am a dark, dark boy.
I am a ghost.
It is said that in today, hikers and visitors can feel the uncomfortable feeling as if they're being watched while being in the canyon.
That's all that dark energy. That's all I was saying. Like, you go, bring everybody in the
feel
canyon, kill them against their will. Do you ever kill anybody with their will?
Yeah, a couple of times. They said it was okay.
You kill them against their will. Yeah, okay. That makes sense, yeah.
So on the day of the massacre, a shaman was recorded by a Spanish soldier to say, "Now we are without hope. Now we remain for as long as the sun rises and sets in the sky."
Okay, that's terrifying, especially coming from a shaman.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
I can only imagine. He's got some like bones hanging off of him. I don't know.
Yeah. He's got a bone in his nose.
Got a, what are those called? A rain stick?
Rain stick. Yeah, those are good. You find that in like a 35-year-old's apartment, though.
It's not offensive to say, is it?
Rain stick?
Yeah.
No, they're cool.
Sounds bad.
Got rice in a stick. Rice in a stick.
Anybody can make it. And it is believed that the lives taken from that day are still there, watching and waiting for the day that the sun goes out.
See, that's what I was saying. It's like they didn't like it already, but then the place just got 2 times darker. It's like now there's like malevolent, angry spirits who got killed there.
Double the fun, double the darkness.
Double mint gum.
Double mint gum. Remember those commercials with the twins and stuff?
Don't change.
Shit was dope. Gum sucked. So yeah, that was fun.
Gum's cursed.
Gum's cursed. How about we move on to the next thing that could be in the canyon waiting to murder you?
Oh.
During the Great Depression, also known as Tobin's life.
Fuck you.
Year old burn that I've now said twice.
Oh, you wrote that?
Yeah, no,
oh,
that's been
that was
sitting.
off the cuff, you dickhead.
That's been sitting there for a year.
Man, I've been depressed for a while, haven't I?
Still cuts twice as deep. So yeah, during the Great Depression, a cult was born in the hills. The Great Depression was a horrible time for the American people, leading people to starve to death, die from disease, and forcing some to kill each other so that they could try to avoid the other ways of death.
Oof.
Yeah.
Was this the cult behavior or the Great Depression behavior?
A little bit of both.
It's a
both.
bad mixture.
Yeah. So the Great Depression forced a lot of American people to do what they had to do to survive. Talks within the town started spreading rumors that a large group of adults had taken to the hills to start a community.
Yeah, okay.
The hills have eyes. And it was said that the group of men and women with no children, wore black robes and conducted stage rituals every single night.
Well, everybody knows that children are the most expensive thing. So if you're having children during the Great Depression, you're double fucked.
They're all sticky. They want wooden horses on wheels.
They're doubly fucked. Double mint gum.
Double mint.
You don't want twins.
Just toss them in the river.
Don't get twins.
You don't want them twins.
Double the paycheck, double the fun. You got twins and you go throw them in a canyon for fun. That's the song.
So yeah, this stirred up a lot of talk in the town, leading someone to investigate what the hell these people were doing. This investigator of sorts creeped through the canyon at night to find the group in ritual.
That sounds like the worst idea I've ever fucking heard. I'd be like, I'll let them do whatever the fuck they want. I'm not creeping through a canyon at night spying on a cult. Like,
no?
Like, you know that if you're creeping through a canyon, you know the cult has like a second like group that just flanked you and they're spying on you right now.
I don't think you're slippery enough.
You don't know how cults work.
So this little scout he recalled seeing a young boy who
they didn't have children.
Well,
that wasn't ours. We just brought him up here because he likes a nice view.
You'll figure out real quickly why they didn't have children. So he recalled seeing a young boy who he guessed to be around the age of 12 years old, strapped to a cross, surrounded by the cult in a orderly formed circle. Before he knew it, members started to dance in circles around the boy, chanting in an earthly language.
Oh, they like the boy.
Yeah, it sounds like fun, right?
Sounds like a birthday party.
Woo! So then the spectator sat and observed, what they were doing from a distance, while the chants got a little more intense, and the cult picked the cross up, rotated it, yeeted it into the ground.
It's like a basketball hoop that you just dunked on and held on the rim and you don't have a couple cinder blocks on the back. Is that what I'm picturing right now?
I think it's more of when you can't get a tiki torch to stick in the ground and you just double hand throw it down. They really jammed it into the ground.
Okay.
So yeah, they placed it back into the ground upside down. Not a good sign.
Oh.
And at this time, the cult started to beat the boy, sending blood in every direction like a shark frenzy.
Speaking of sharks, have you seen the movie Shark! Exclamation point.
I've seen a shark's tail.
Oh, that's a good one.
Or is that a fish's tail? What's the one with Will
It's
Smith?
shark's tail. But wait, so they started beating a boy?
Yeah, the blood was everywhere. The boy's been beaten.
Okay, what's this guy who's watching from a distance doing right now?
Oh, you don't want to know. What he's doing's more sin.
I question when I was watching him who was doing worse.
I ask God.
This is so wrong.
It's been a great year, guys.
This is so wrong.
So the Colt after
I hope this story's fake for our sake.
yeah. So after the Colt beat this little boy to a pulp, they backed away. They backed away, and the viewer noted the boy was still breathing.
Okay, that's good. That's a good sign.
And then they quickly stuffed the.
Oh.
And then they quickly stuffed the boy into a burlap sack and sent him off in a wagon.
A burlap sack?
Yeah.
I think you said a burlap sap.
It's the same thing to me.
But they put him in a sack and they sent him in a wagon.
Yeah.
That could have been like to the hospital.
Yeah. I'm sure it was. The man returned to town to tell the people, but no one believed his story until sometime later when many of the local boys started to up and vanish. Yeah, the townsfolk formed a small army, armed with what they could, to rush the camp and discover they had vanished without a trace.
I love a good mob. I always say it.
Yep.
Pitchforks, got some torches.
Yep.
Going after a cult or a Frankenstein monster.
Yeah, I
You're
love
good.
to chase monsters with fire and pointy things. It's one of my hobbies. It's on my Tinder
good.
profile.
But I wouldn't believe him if he came down and yelled that shit either. But like,
Probably not until the boys started up and vanishing.
and then
God damn it!
And then they
Where's
went
my
up
boy?
there- and then they went up. They went up there and they're like, "Oh wait, so you're not credible," you know? And they're like, "Ah, shit, yeah. They're gone. They're gone."
So are you ready to go camping in the Turnbull Canyon yet?
No, not yet. You got any more
Whoa. Well, in the 1930s, an insane asylum was opened in the canyon. That
Wait.
always leads to good shit,
Wait,
right?
when was the previous shit happening?
Like Great Depression.
Don't bring this up. I don't know the date.
I feel like that was the 20s.
It happened in years, right?
Yeah, it happened a while ago. So yeah, the insane asylum opened up in the
Grapes
canyon.
of Wrath.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
And like a lot of insane asylums across the country in those times, did a lot of shady shit. A lot of shady shit went down.
I feel like we could have a whole podcast of what went down in insane asylums.
Yeah.
You know?
So with that said, there's no accounts of what exactly happened in the asylum, but 10 years after it was built, a fire took it over and the place burned down, leaving remains that stand today.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah. And,
Ooh.
well, maybe. I wrote this a year ago. Who knows?
There was another fire out there.
Only time will tell. And individuals who claim to be...
What's so funny?
Oh, man. I'm pretty sure I'm going to fuck this one up. I remember a year ago fucking this one up. Psychiatric. I can't say this fucking word.
Psychiatric?
No, people that are psychics.
That's not correct.
That's not good. You can teach an old dog no tricks.
Is it a circle on your card?
Well, the people that can speak to ghosts. They say that it's difficult to stand in the ruins and that it feels like something is reaching into your brain. The biggest story
Like
involving...
a 44 Magnum?
Yeah. So the biggest story involving the ruins came from the 60s, where a group of teenagers and a really, really hungry Great Dane...
I'm about to say, you stupid dickhead. I knew that was coming.
Raggy? When I was rereading that joke, I was like, wait, what?
Oh boy, Scoob. I don't feel good when I stand on this mountain.
So, yeah, it was a joke. But really, a group of kids were hiking up, and like any group of teenagers who stumble across sketchy ruins, they go adventuring. The group found an old electroshock therapy treatment device and jokingly strapped it up. Put it on. Big fuck up there, bud.
It's a really good joke to put that. I mean, but it's not connected to anything.
You done goofed, right?
It's a really good goof to shoot yourself in the head in between takes, too.
Yeah. So without any electricity in the building, the TJ, it's like we're good.
Yeah.
But no, the teenager suddenly screamed as the electricity burned through his body, leaving his friends to watch as they said, first his hair, then his clothes, and finally his eyes and skin began to smolder and burn.
What the fuck?
And the teenager was dead within a matter of seconds.
Wait. What?
Yeesh. Yep.
Was it Mr. Morley the whole time?
Well, you all know
Did they
ghost
take
electricity is 10 times stronger.
Did they take the mask off the electrical component and find out that it was Mr. Morley the whole time? I'm doing a Scooby-Doo joke.
I was like, fuck, who's Mr. Morley? Because that sounds familiar.
No, I don't know. But damn, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, well, bad friends.
Yeah.
I would have hit him with a stick, try to knock that shit off him.
I'm not. Ask Craig. I'm not touching anybody who's been electrocuted.
You can't touch anybody who's being electrocuted, but you can hit him with a stick.
If it's made of rubber,
If you're a good friend, you hit your friend with a stick.
could save his life. Along with these stories, there have also been cases of UFO sightings. But
Oh shit.
if you'd ask me, that's because the aliens can't help to check out this fucked up place either.
They can sense it.
Yeah.
They're like dogs before earthquakes. You know? They know it.
I remember a time before the dogs were around and the earthquakes roamed the earth.
You know what I mean.
Earthquakes were man's best friend.
You know what I mean. Anyway.
But yeah.
So
That was the end. I didn't know how to end those stories, I guess.
See, we weren't as polished back then. You see, paragraphs just ended.
But God, it was fun.
But it was the Wild West out there. It was, you grab electrical unit,
And I'm sweating.
fucking electrocute yourself to death.
Yep.
There we go. But you know what? We've been writing shitty paragraphs for a year, and you guys have been sticking around, and we really appreciate it. And as we come to the end of this podcast, we just want to say thank you, because this is a big milestone. We're doing this as a hobby. We started this as a hobby, and I don't know, David, do you have anything to say? We just think it's a bunch of fun. I told you to say something and I kept going, but we just think it's so fun to do this. We get to get together, and me and David don't get to see each other a lot because we are working boys. We're both PAs who are getting the shit kicked out of us every single day on a set. And this is a good time to meet up and talk weird stories and hopefully entertain you guys on your morning commutes or late night jaunts. I don't even know what that word means.
Yeah.
And,
maybe some of you listen to us before you fall asleep. I don't know.
So we just want to say thank you guys for sticking around for so long.
Thank you
And
so much.
hopefully we have more to come, and because there's no short of weird out there, there's no short of strange out there, and we are Camp Strange, which means we will be covering anything strange.
And we're horny for the strange.
Put that on a shirt.
Put it on a shirt, damn it.
So horny for the strange. So thank you guys so much for listening. We love telling you these stories. We love it when you listen. And it's been a year, and it's been a fun year, and many more fun years to come. So if you guys want to keep updated on everything, go check out Instagram at Camp Strange Podcast. We got Twitter. We got Facebook. We're posting more on there. We thank you, Adina, for posting on our Facebook. We really appreciate it. We got I can't think. Fuck.
We got t-shirts. We got mugs.
Yeah, we got t-shirts. We got merch. We got merch out there. We also have a rating system. So if you guys want to rate, review, and
that
subscribe,
would help a lot. It's been a while since we've had a few reviews.
honestly, I kind of want to do a little bit of a giveaway. We got some shit around here that we can give away to our fans, to our diehards, because we know you're out there, and we really appreciate you guys sticking around. So we want to give it back a little bit. So we're gonna do we're gonna do a little bit of a giveaway and figure out what we can do. Maybe get some reviews out of you guys. Maybe share us a little bit, get us a little broader horizon, because we want to talk to more of you guys. What's up?
Well, I was thinking for the giveaway, what else do we got that we could give away to them?
Oh, what else do we got? We can give
Yeah.
away to 'em?
What can we give away to
Don't
them?
flip this on me, motherfucker. We have a record player that only plays AC/DC backwards, and it summons the devil.
We've got your uncle's dirty magazine stash.
We got a tuba filled with horse manure that you could play at your grandpa's funeral.
I've got a weird Ziploc bag I found in the water part of the toilet in a hotel I stayed at.
We have Chi-Chi's dirty underwear.
It's really small.
It's really
But it's-
dirty.
boy, is it dirty.
It looks like a NASCAR track with all the skid marks on it.
It's a fucking war zone.
Chi-Chi, get off me! Fuck! Sorry, he's on me. He crawled on me.
I hate him.
I hate him so much, Gary. You're the good boy. Chi-Chi's the devil. You're the angel. I'm gonna shake your hand.
We've got some swamp wigs.
We got mountain sandals.
We got Jennifer Lawrence's merkin.
Dude, don't. You did not just bring up a fucking merkin. You literally, I know what kind of porn you watch now. Dude, David is literally have his hand on his forehead and he's.
You can't name a product a
How
better
do you
name.
know what a merkin is? I
it's-
guess I know what a merkin is, so I'm
'Cause
weird.
it's
I'm as weird
the
as you.
funniest name you could name what it is.
We have a. We have a trunk full of your aunt. Your aunt's in my trunk.
Just ladles of her.
Ladles. Oh, okay, I think we're done. Fuck. We have a storage container filled with pogs.
I wish. It's a gold
I
mine.
think it kind of is. Anyway, thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it, like we always say. And let's just fucking wrap this up because it's been a year.
Yeah, it
you
is.
guys are tired. We're tired. We're hot. And David, do you have anything to say?
Don't forget to go back and listen to the past 51 episodes.
That's a great idea. And also, don't forget to stay strange.